because many women in corporate environments have seen this hierarchical kind of organization, they think that the way they have to get ahead is by being almost some version of cutthroat ruthlessness. And so it just looks a particular way for them. And that may be gossipy or catty or whatever.
Early in my career, I had very powerful male role models. And that really brought out like a lot of that, style. Like you couldn't bring all yourself to work. And I do think for me, I remember taking some type of an assessment, and on a scale of empathy, you could be from 0 to 100. And I came up as a 3 in empathy. And, and they were proud of that. They thought, isn't that great? You're somebody who can get stuff done. I am so not a 3 in empathy. Like you guys are shocked, which I'm grateful for. But that's just so not the deal. But that's what, is a challenge for women, is to make sure they're bringing all of them to the table.
Well, and part of what you're bringing up, Beth, I think is interesting, and that's that women also are existing within an organizational culture, and it drives certain behaviors that determine what success looks like. And so trying to be successful in that kind of an organization can imprint on a woman and have her believe like, oh, it's not how I would naturally want to do it, but I guess I need to do it that way to fit in here. I need to pretzel myself into being something that doesn't feel entirely clear, but if I want to succeed and I want to do well, this is what I have to do.
I would say in particular, a lot of times women get the reputation of being gossipy, backbiting, manipulative, flaky or unreliable, emotional, those kinds of things. And our experience has been with each of those dimensions, there is something real going on below the surface.
I also think when in that situation, women are not really connected to their values. And that's one of the things that is really important for us to actually help the women, is identify what are your values? What is it that you actually stand for and that people know you in the world? They don't know you as Catty. What do they know you as?
Part of it is really helping to dispel that fear. Like you can actually get in touch with who you are, you can lead authentically, you can be clear about what inspires you, you can come from your own strengths and actually still be successful. And so when people are trying to model themselves after somebody else, first of all, it takes a heck of a lot of energy. And I think they end up being kind of exhausted by that, to be honest. And it doesn't feel right. Like they almost armor up to be able to get themselves into work and compete. And then they've got their sword drawn the entire day. And that really is, for me, like the thing about how do you put your sword down? How do you get clear about who you are? How do you relinquish the fear? The fear actually doesn't support you in getting anything done, but they think they have to use that fear to be competitive and to get ahead, and for the most part, that's actually not true.
And you start to actually see that you can take your energy and you can be influential in an entirely different way, and you can actually create outcomes where you collaborate and work with people instead of against each other.
And by growing in their own awareness, which is a huge dimension in our model, they actually kind of relax a little bit, and they're not so critical and judgmental, and some of that is confidence.
One of the ways to cut through some of the drama or the kinds of things that women get a bad reputation for is to teach them how to make a clear request for what they want, and then trust the women around them to say, yes, I'll do that for you, or I have a few questions, or no. So that's something that by role modeling it ourselves, we have really been able to provide that to other cultures of women. And even though it's simple, it's not easy, but I would say it's pretty miraculous.
I actually think it's still difficult for all of us, is on the scale, is asking for help, because we take personal responsibility, which is really a core belief, to the nth degree sometimes, when there's somebody else that we could have actually engaged and done a better job, working with.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say for me in terms of adjusting into Tiara. First of all, I had been in my own business for a while, so I was used to being like sole person, like
you are still it.
You do everything. And so there was something to be said for being part of a team and then remembering that other people were there to do their part too and were willing to do their part. Like you weren't imposing on somebody if you asked for help.
At our core, we are win-win, we're collaborative. It doesn't have to be either or, you or me. So we really recenter women with what they naturally know to be true, is that we can all move forward together, and instead of gossiping, talk with people directly, have that transparent, open conversation. Know that you're not in competition with people and there's room for everybody. So those things that sometimes show up as common complaints or judgments, they may be a clue as to something that needs to be understood, and then there's a way that that can be used almost as like a strength or a piece of data.